Lunch on Friday will be a Mr. Rib sandwich, cheesy hash browns, fruit mix, fresh fruit, cookie,
And some milk.
and some milk.
What just fell?
Piece of paper.
A paper. Lewis and Clark Band Clinic at Wayne America, on Saturday. Be here at 6 o'clock a.m. What was that? Anti-Meridian? Yeah.
Yeah, after Meridian. No.
Anti-Meridian.
Okay. Speech at Orchard at 8 o'clock on Saturday.
Please excuse the junior high boys basketball.
All right. All 8th grade girls interested in playing on a spring volleyball team. See Mrs. Tyler on Monday, January 22nd.
All pass-fail forms must. Oh no. Any junior and senior to take
You messed
a
that up
course.
bad.
Yeah. Pass-fail. You must have the form submitted to Mr. Nielsen by Friday, January 26th by 3:30 p.m. This is.
I'm not reading this.
You
It's
gotta
too
go.
long.
We'll split it up. Blackout Cancer
Blackout Cancer,
is the event being held on Friday
January 19th.
during the EV versus Creighton basketball.
Games.
A donation
Bucket.
will be at the admission table, and split the pot will also be used.
Help.
Raise money for cancer research. Money raised will go directly to
University of Nebraska Medical Center.
help fund research. Wear black to show your support for those who have battled cancer and those who are currently battling cancer.
FCCLA officer meeting at 7:30 a.m. Anti-Meridian. Tuesday the 23rd. All members meeting on Wednesday the 24th at 7:30. Anti-Meridian.
That's all.
With total allegiance to the Soviet Union and to no other partisan group or terrible class, this is Supreme Commander Krisnov. A train derailed in densely populated Mexico City suburb on Thursday morning, killing at least 5 people, local authorities said. The train, which was transporting cargo, crashed into Apchique, a largely municipal in the state of Mexico that forms part of the urban sprawl extending from the capital. After the train ran off the tracks, one of its cars careened into a house, killing at least 5 inhabitants, the state Mexico prosecutors officials said. Authorities are in the process of removing debris from the house, and more victims will likely be found, the office said. Pope Francis, whose defense of migrants and refugees has been a key theme of his 5-year-old pontificate, spoke on his last day in Chile before he was due to leave for Peru to start the second of his last leg of the Latin American tour. Quote, "There is no Christian joy when doors are closed. There is no Christian joy when others are made to feel unwanted, when there is no room for them in our midst," he said in the holy mass of a beach in the city of Chile's far north. Quote, "The cry of the poor is kind of a prayer. It opens our hearts and teaches us to be attentive," he said, from an enormous white stage framed by dune-like desert mountains on one side and haze blue of the Pacific Ocean on the other. The Pope has stepped up his defense of immigrants in recent months as migrants have become a hot political issue in many countries. In the United States, lawmakers are still grappling with the fate of so-called dreamers who were brought to the country illegally as children and now face deportation after decades of living there. In Europe, the German far-right and anti-immigrant Alternative for German Party became a key force last year. In Italy, the anti-immigrant Northern League is expected to make gains in national elections in March. Francis urged his people to be alternative to all situations, injustices, and new forms of exploitation, including by those who profit from immigrants' problems such as lack of documentation. This has been Supreme Commander Krisnov of the Soviet Army.
Corbin here with some sports news. In school news, wrestling at Neely Oakdale invite at 10 on Saturday. Marathon basketball here versus Elkhorn Valley at 4:30 on Friday. 2 quarters each of JV girls and boys. Patriots quarterback Tom Brady is playing limited minutes in practice after a hand injury, but is expected to play on Saturday when the New England Patriots will be playing the Jacksonville Jaguars in the AFC title game. Hassan Whiteside is helping his Miami Heat team back on track with 27 points and 13 rebounds versus the Bucks. The Heat were on a 7-game winning streak when they lost to the Chicago Bulls. Trash. However, they came into the next game with a low chance of winning, as they will be playing the Brooklyn Nets. Talking about the Nets, they nearly came back against the always impressive San Antonio Spurs, losing 100-95. This was mostly due to the fact that the Nets can't shoot free throws, finishing 12 of 18, good for 66%, most of them coming in the final minutes of the game. 66% isn't good, Nelson.